What's up, gang? Kawaii50 here with another FGO video, and I wish I was making a video for you about a better topic. Hopefully a topic that was like how Summer, Ascension 3 is the greatest summer design in the history of man, but unfortunately, no, that is not the place that we are in today. Instead, we've got to talk about some of the things that are going on in FGO-CN, and what effects this might have on FGO-CN, as well as, well, potentially in Genshin Impact as well. Of course, we've got to mention Genshin Impact. It's so huge. It's such a big cultural export from China at this moment in time. Now, let me preface this with just a couple of things. First, I want to definitely establish that I am from the US, so I don't have, like, personal insight into what it's like to live in the country at this moment in time. I don't know how the actual youth over there are taking in these changes in regards to gaming, as well as other situations happening over there. So I don't have that inside perspective, and I just want to preface that I know that I don't have that sort of inside perspective. And I also want to address that there is a Discord post going around that is some sort of game elements banned in China thing. It did get posted to my Discord as well. I went and tried to dig and tried to find more about it, but since I can't really find any big news outlet at this moment in time to either confirm or deny that these are actually game elements that have been banned in China at this time, I've basically got to treat this post like it doesn't exist, because I don't want to potentially be going over false information. So, good. Hopefully I ended up getting all that out of the way. Now, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of what's going on. So first, a little bit of the background on some of the big stuff I can absolutely confirm is happening. I'm sure some of you might have heard about the previous Chinese game limitations that were happening to the youth, but just in case you haven't, let me go over that very quickly. Right now, the youth in China have sort of been forced into only being able to have up to 3 hours of gaming a week. 8 to 9 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as well as official holidays. This rule will take effect on September 1st, and all players now have to register using their real names so that they will be able to accurately track whether or not an underage individual is playing the game. They say this is being done in order to cut the number of new games and reduce gaming addiction. However, who knows? Who really knows what the actual reason behind them doing this is. Now, there are some other things that have come out of this as well. There is a separate report that came out on english.gov.cn, which, of course, has been reported in the same article I'm looking at by PC Gamer, and I'll link that down below. And I'm going to go ahead and read you this quote and put it up on the screen. Word of the slowdown followed a meeting between Chinese officials and representatives of Tencent and NetEase, an internet technology company. The purpose of that meeting was to reinforce the need to enforce restrictions, and also to lay out other content guidelines. Games with a, quote, wrong set of values, including, quote, gay love, are to be avoided, according to the report, and the companies were also instructed to ease up on monetization and profit-focused game mechanics. The authorities ordered the enterprises and platforms to tighten examination on the contents of their games, the separate report confirms. Obscene and violent content and those breeding unhealthy tendencies such as money worship and effeminacy should be removed. That report also called for monopolies to be resisted, avoidance of game designs that induce addiction, and new restrictions on ads involving celebrity endorsement, and new rules related to live streaming. The English language website didn't reference any specific content guidelines, but warned that the country's Ministry of Culture and Tourism will strengthen education on moral standards for all practitioners of the entertainment sector. And of course, the thing that is mainly being focused on, and the thing I think is starting to play a lot into this, is this whole money worship and effeminacy should be removed. So there are a lot of changes happening to Chinese focus servants on FGO in China. And these changes are pretty drastic, not gonna lie. Let's, of course, start with some of the big ones. This server adjustment announcement. FGO China announced that they have to do a servant name adjustment to the following servants. All Chinese servants: Jingke, Lubu Fazhang, Wu Zeitian, Nezha, Zhang Yu, Qin Liang Yu, Shi Wangdi, Consort Yu, Red Hair, Surma Yi, Yang Guifei, and Consort Yu Lancer. Zhuge Liang suspiciously not mentioned. And they also did a card art adjustment for several servants. It seems as though mainly those that are women that have a more, let's say, liberal presentation of how they present themselves with their bodies. These servants are Zhuangzong Sanzong, Yu, Yang Guifei, and of course Yu Lancer as well. To go ahead and illustrate the kind of change that has been seen, let's go ahead and take a peek at this video that was recorded of exactly what happens when you summon Wu Zeitian, now only referred to on China as Assassin of the Nightless City. To sort of rub salt into the wound on top of that, they did a recent banner where there's going to be a DL campaign, of course, for Lost Belt 3 Sin, and a lot of Chinese-focused servants. However, these servants have had their name changed. On the banner, you can see that Qin Shi Huang is referred to as Ruler 229, and Yu Mei Ren is referred to as Assassin number 230, effectively having their names completely wiped from the annals of Fate Grand Order. I assume this goes in regards to trying to perform those high moral standards. Obviously, having women that don't show a lot of skin is going to be something that they look for, and especially in Qin Shi Huang's case, I imagine they are latching on to the quote-unquote effeminacy argument that they were going in, arguing that the perfect, brilliant, macho Qin Shi Huang would never look as he is presented in Fate Grand Order, despite the fact that the man is the absolute Giga Chad. I'm sorry, the Emperor is an absolute Giga Chad in the game. And to sort of bring discussion about Fate Grand Order and Genshin Impact into this, I'm sure a lot of players are wondering, well, how might these new standards, how might any new government regulations specifically impact the way I am enjoying my game, especially games exported from China like Genshin Impact? And if I had to give what I feel is going to be the most practical solution for that, the answer is not at all. What will most likely happen is that you will still continue to enjoy your games in the way that they have been presented. I don't expect, say, for example, a radical redesign of Kea or anything like that, because his hair happens to be curly and he happens to be slender. I don't know. What will most likely happen is that you will continue to experience the game as you always have, because it's a prime cultural export and is making a ton of money for a Chinese-based company. And instead, the country itself that the game is created in will be receiving its own version that complies with government standards. This is the best way to maximize profit, so I really feel like this is the way that they are going to do it. So gang, that's basically what's going on. I really don't have a lot more information to give you beyond that at this time, but that is basically what is happening in China. I honestly think it's kind of a shame. The Chinese servants in Fate Grand Order are honestly some of the best servants in the game, in my opinion. I absolutely love how they're represented, I love their characterization, and I think that they are all absolutely brilliant. But that is, of course, me being an outsider looking in. If you have any thoughts about any of the changes to these characters, please go ahead and let me know about it down in the comments section below. And let me just say, to be absolutely clear, so there is no thought about where my position is, portraying gay love in games is okay. Having characters that like to show off their bodies, be they male, female, or other, is okay. And effeminate characters, especially, as what's under attack, male effeminate characters, are all perfectly okay to have in games. And honestly, if anyone's got a problem with that, well, too bad, so sad, stay mad. Anyways, this is Kawaii 50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you all in the next video.